Take a look at this image. These are the image which people have generated of Jacob Zuma from the AI. Some they are saying this man is too old, he's supposed to be staying at home and look after his grandchildren and his cattle. Some they even went far by saying that this man was in power for a couple of years. Why he never implement all these so beautiful dreams that is best-selling African right now? Well, the trip of Jacob Zuma in Burkina Faso, it has raised a serious drama in social media, especially among South Africans. But guys, do you really want to know what was the main reason why Jacob Zuma went all the way to Burkina Faso to see Captain Ibrahim Traore? What was his message? Because Jacob Zuma makes serious revelations and send a very strong message to all the Africans around the world. I want you to pay attention to this video that I have prepared for you before I come back and discuss more with you.
What can we do to ensure that this process that has been taken begins again in Africa to finally liberate Africa? If you look at what has happened, you will realize that the colonizers, since the time up to now, still believe that Africa belongs to them. And what we are discussing is, no, that time must end. We should run our own affairs. It's absolutely important. We can't even say we'll talk on this under the carpet. No, it's just facts. We discuss things related to what I've just talked about, and as you know, I can't give you all the details because we were discussing as Africans, and we are not necessarily saying we want to tell the world what is happening. We want to say, we who think alike now, what can we do to help Africans to be finally free?
That was not all. Because Jacob Zuma sent a strong message to all Africans. He invited Africans by paying attention to this message. What was his message? Have a listen.
Just one small point to make. And I hope Africans will listen to this small point very well. This country decided to free itself finally, not under the yoke of the colonizers, to show that we still have a serious problem. The organization here in Africa put that under the area of them committing a very serious crime which is always talked about. Our brothers here said this is a coup d'etat. It's not a coup d'etat. This country decided to free itself 100% from the colonizers. The rulers of us here, our colleagues, can't see it. They think it's a coup d'etat which was developed by the oppressors to change the kind of caliber of leaders who were there at that time, to remove them. They can't see the difference.
Oh yes, you heard him very well, loud and clear. That is Jacob Zuma, the former president of Republic of South Africa, criticizing African leaders with their movement on how they are treating these three military governments of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. But for what reason? What was the message of Jacob Zuma about all this? Why a former head of the state is kind of like encouraging something which other head of the state are condemning? We all know that the African Union, they have distanced themselves from the Sahel region or from this military government, saying that we are not going to support any military coup which will take place in Africa continent, for the fact that they are seeing Captain Ibrahim Traore and the president of Mali or Niger coming to power through the military coup, they had distanced themselves and they don't want anything to do with them. But here's a Jacob Zuma who's coming and telling people that these people are hypocrites. These people that are lying to themselves. These people that are not understanding that when we are talking about the true independence of a nation or sovereignty of a nation, it is what is happening right now in Burkina Faso and this other military government are doing right now, because they are taking their independence not by begging the Western, but they are taking it by force. Like it or not, this was a very strong punch which Jacob Zuma had punched at these African leaders who like to behave in a hypocrisy way that Africans are not in support of. Because of this same hypocrisy that we get to see from the African leaders, these are the same mistake they have done before when the Western leave their countries and put their power together in order for them to come and destroy Libya with their leader, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi. Do you still remember that? And during that time when Muammar Gaddafi was in power, Jacob Zuma used to be also the president of the Republic of South Africa. Yes, he was one of the people who had that mandate from the African Union in order for him to go all the way to Libya to talk to Colonel Muammar Gaddafi. Jacob Zuma, for the first time, he get to reveal the secret of what happened behind closed door, which the mainstreams they never talk about, which most of people they don't even know about. Jacob Zuma, in his interview, is telling us on how his trip to Libya to meet Muammar Gaddafi went wrong.
Gaddafi was killed because his country was beginning to say Africa must stand on its own and live in its own life. And for that, because he was talking like that, he had to be killed by the civilized Christian kind of people when he had committed no crime, except to talk about Africa, our country. Just before Gaddafi was killed, I was the last president who went to his country. I went there to talk to him when NATO was bombarding that country. In fact, I was given instructions as the president of this country that you fly this way, you lower your revolver, and people come from Europe tell us in Africa, and we are in charge. That tells you the story of this continent. At the end, he was killed because he was very clear about Africa. And the Western countries did not want it, and they killed him.
Guys, that comes from his mouth and not mine. Those are Jacob Zuma's words from his experience. He telling us that these people, they have to tell him where to land, what to discuss with Muammar Gaddafi and everything. And keep in mind, for those who maybe might have forgotten or who did not experience what happened in 2011 when Muammar Gaddafi was killed, they used Jacob Zuma by the Western to approach Muammar Gaddafi because they knew very well that Muammar Gaddafi had big respect for Jacob Zuma. They were good friends, these people. So they thought that let us send one of his friends, one of his colleagues to go ahead and convince him. And Jacob Zuma, as he accepted to go and meet Muammar Gaddafi, well, he was told what to do. I can even go far by telling you some of the secret that Jacob Zuma was even forced to tell Muammar Gaddafi that Muammar Gaddafi should leave the power and seek refugee papers in South Africa. That is something I doubt most of people do not know. But that is the naked truth of what had happened. Besides Jacob Zuma, let's put him aside. Of course, we have people such as Yoweri Museveni, the current president of Uganda, who also testify from his side, revealing the secret of what NATO have done.
Now, when this problem of Libya started, the African Union, with our chairman, who is here now, this gentleman here, they formed a committee of a few of us. I think we were 6. I was one of them. The whole of the African Union gave that committee a mandate to look for a solution for the Libyan problem. Now, on one occasion, I didn't go that time. These excellencies, this one here, Jacob Zuma, and the others, I was not there, but my minister was among them. They entered a plane in workshop in his place. They were going to Libya to mediate. And they were told by NATO to go back. Yes. Said, you go back. Yes, he's here. If I'm telling you lies, I'm not the one who invited him, you're the one who invited him. African presidents on an African mission over African soil were ordered by NATO to go back. That NATO has not allowed them to land in Libya. Now, we call this in Swahili, dharau, contempt. This is contempt. So now you can weigh yourselves now. Your presidents were ordered by NATO. 6 of them, not one. If it was only 7, then you could say. 6 excellencies, African excellencies, were ordered, go back. Over Africa. Now, these fellows didn't listen to us. They continued. They killed Gaddafi. Now Libya is in tatters. Up to today. And the problem did not only end in Libya. It went into Mali. It has gone now into Chad. The whole area is in flames. Egypt, yes. So now you see where you are.
With all this being said, what lesson do we take from all this? The lesson we are taking from all this is that African leaders are so hypocrites. They can sell you out regardless of your skin color. They don't care as long they are doing what it is good for the Western, because they need the support of the Western. Forgetting that if yesterday it was Muammar Gaddafi, today it could be you, and tomorrow it could be someone else, because that is the strategies which the Western often do when it comes to African leaders. African leaders, they can betray you more easily without having pity, without protecting the sovereignty of Africa's soil. And that's what they did with Muammar Gaddafi. People who were involved in this, they are the ones who are coming today and revealing all the secret of what they have done as wrongdoing. They are doing it right now with Captaine Ibrahim Traore. They are abandoning him, forgetting that this man actually is showing the leads out that these African leaders can follow, so that tomorrow Africa can become true independent. But they're not doing so. Why? Because they are all hypocrites. And Jacob Zuma, he kind of like trying to do things in the right way. It's kind of like trying to correct the past mistake which he had contributed as well in one way or other, by cooperating or by listening to what the Western have to say about the death of Muammar Gaddafi. Jacob Zuma is a visionary. He kind of like understanding that, yes, I'm too old, 82 years if I'm not mistaken, but at this age, should I just sit here and watch other colleagues, African leaders, who are busy crucifying these young men who have a vision, these young men who have the courage to do what us we could not do in our time, to do what us we could not be able to achieve by liberating people of Burkina Faso toward people of the entire Africa continent? Well, I rather go there and look like a stupid to the eyes of those who hate this vision of the United Africa. I rather go there and look stupid for helping Captain Ibrahim Traore, opening up his eyes and giving him my support, his fellow father or African man. That it is what is revolting some people around who goes around and saying nonsense. The message or the main reason which former president and the president of Mkontowe's party, Jacob Zuma, went all the way to Burkina Faso was to go there to encourage Captain Ibrahim Traore, telling him that you are on the right ways. Don't listen to these hypocrites who are sitting over there in Africa Union. Don't listen to these people who are busy putting sanctions on Burkina Faso, saying that no, because you are coming from the military coup and this and that. Don't listen to all the rumors which is being said about you. Remain focused, because you are doing something which these leaders, they are not able to do. You are doing something which most of these people, deep down, they know that you are right, but yet they don't have the courage to come and acknowledge or applaud for you and try to support you in any way possible that they could. That was the message which Jacob Zuma have to send. Besides that, the other message which Jacob Zuma have to send to all the Africans around the world was to tell them that we are not going to accept or to allow, whether it is America with its allies in NATO, these nations to come and destroy or kill Captain Ibrahim Traore, because Captain Ibrahim Traore is not Thomas Sankara, is not Muammar Gaddafi, is not Patrice Lumumba, is not Kwame Nkrumah or any of these other African leaders who the Western have destroyed by killing them through poisons, by destroying their political careers, by jailing them, or by doing anything possible in order for them to stop them. Captain Ibrahim Traore, he have the support of everyone, and everyone who believe in two Pan-African dreams, you should not be entertaining this nonsense that you are seeing in the social media platforms. So, if you see anyone who's trying to criticize Jacob Zuma for going to Burkina Faso to see Captain Ibrahim Traore, just know that that person is the enemy of Africans, is the enemy of Africans who's working with the Western, because trust me, they had put a lot of money on the ground so that people, they can come and sabotage this trip of Jacob Zuma to Burkina Faso. Because remember, him going there was not all alone. He went there, they went and meet different African descendants who came from all over around the world, from America, from Caribbeans, all these black Africans, they meet over there. A lot is being discussed. You heard even Jacob Zuma himself saying that we discuss a lot, we can't reveal everything. Say otherwise, these people, they'll be able to read our move, and then they'll be able to also know what to take as a move or as a step. So guys, let us remain focused on the basis. Let us remain focused on the necessary things, and we should not let ourselves be distracted by what people are saying on the networks. I believe the message is loud and clear. Now that you know the main reason why Jacob Zuma went all the way to Burkina Faso,